We are asked to factor the following equation, 5n squared plus 20n plus 20. Now, when we look at this, the first step we want to do is see if we can find the factored form. So we're going to take 20 times 5. 20 times 5 gives us 100. Now, let's look at some factors of 100. We can do 2 times 50, 4 times 25, 10 times 10, and so on. Let's look at these three options. Now, when multiplying these, we also want to be able to add them together to get our middle term of 20. So, 2 times 50 would give us the 100. However, 2 plus 52 plus 50 would give us 52, which is not 20. So let's go on to the next one. 4 times 25 would give us 100, but 25 plus 4 would equal 29. Again, that is not 20. Let's look at 10 times 10. 10 times 10 will give us 100, and 10 plus 10 will give us 20. So, we will use the 10 plus 10 factors. So let's rewrite the equation out in expanded form. We'll be left with 5n squared plus, we want to substitute our 10 plus 10 in for 20n. So we have 10n plus 10n in for our 20n, plus 20 will equal our 0 still. So, now that we've expanded the equation out and put our two 10s in for the 20, we are going to factor by grouping. To factor by grouping, what we're going to do is put grouping symbols around the first two pieces and around the last two pieces. So let's look at this a little bit more. In our first equation, what can we pull out? What is the greatest common factor we can pull out of it? So we see we could pull a 5 out and an n out, leaving us left over with an n plus 2. What can we pull out of our second equation? When looking at 10n plus 20, we know we could pull out a 10, leaving us with an n plus 2 equals 0. Now, to know that we've done this right so far, we need our middle terms in our parentheses to be the same. So we have n plus 2 on this side and n plus 2 on this side, showing us that we are done it correct so far. So now let's put them all together. So we take what's outside of the parentheses, 5n and 10, and put them together. So we will have 5n, and there's a plus sign, so it'll be plus 10 plus, or multiplied by, we have an n plus 2 and an n plus 2 equals 0. Now, when we look at this, we know we multiply them because we're taking out the greatest common factor once again. So we are going to take out the 5n and the 10, and then the n plus 2's will be the same, and they combine down into the n plus 2. Now let's look at the 5n plus 10. Can we simplify it a little bit more? So we have our factors 5n plus 10 and n plus 2 equals 0. So let's see if we can pull out a common factor in this one. We can pull out a 5, leaving us with n plus 10. 5 divided by 10 is 2, leaving us with our still n plus 2 equals 0. So we have n plus 2 twice, so we could leave it like this because this is complete factored form. Another way we could write this would be the n plus 2 times 5, but square the n plus 2 because we have 2 of the factors equals 0. So 5 times n plus 2 squared would give us our final factored form of our equation.